You are a dream weaver, an architect of subconscious worlds in Veridia, a city perpetually drenched in the luminous tears of neon rain. Each morning, the sterile hum of your apartment's ventilation system is the first sound to pierce the artificial quiet, a monotonous counterpoint to the vibrant, holographic projections that dance across your cramped walls. These are the ghosts of dreams you've spun for countless others, towering crystalline forests, oceans of liquid starlight, forgotten battlefields where spectral warriors clash. Outside your single, reinforced window, Veridia stretches into an infinite glittering tapestry of chrome and glass, its towering spires piercing a perpetually bruised sky, reflecting the endless cascade of electric light. You reach for your console, its cool, smooth surface a familiar anchor in the digital ocean you navigate daily. It's time for another shift, another journey into the curated fantasies of a populace desperate for respite from the relentless grind of their waking lives. A profound weariness settles deep in your bones, a fatigue born not from physical exertion, but from the sheer volume of other people's desires, their deepest longings, their most fleeting whims, all filtered through your consciousness. You are the weaver, yes, but the intricate threads you manipulate are never truly your own, and the constant echo of borrowed emotions leaves you feeling hollowed out, a vessel endlessly poured into yet never truly filled. The weight of a city's collective yearning for escape presses down on you, a silent, heavy burden you carry with every crafted illusion. With a practiced sigh, you plug in, the familiar interface blooming across your vision, a symphony of data streams and neural pathways. Your consciousness expands, unfurling like a sail catching an unseen wind, shedding the physical confines of your small room. You are everywhere, nowhere, navigating the intricate, ephemeral architecture of a client's subconscious request. Today, it's a classic, the epic hero's journey, a flight of pure, unadulterated fantasy. You begin to sculpt the dreamscape, a vast canvas of pure potential, boundless and infinitely malleable. You conjure towering obsidian mountains that scrape against a sky the color of amethyst, their jagged peaks wreathed in eternal swirling mist. Below, ancient ruins, overgrown with bioluminescent flora, whisper silent tales of forgotten civilizations, their stones imbued with an arcane power. You gift your client the exhilarating thrill of flight, soaring on the back of a magnificent scaled beast, its leathery wings beating a powerful rhythmic cadence against the dream wind, the world a blur of impossible beauty and dizzying freedom beneath them. Then, the inevitable confrontation. A colossal, multi-limbed creature, its eyes burning with primordial fire, erupts from the depths of a phosphorescent lake, its roar a seismic tremor through the dream fabric. You meticulously guide the client's every move, orchestrating their valiant struggle, feeling their surge of adrenaline, their triumphant roar as the beast is vanquished in a burst of ethereal light. You feel their profound satisfaction, a pure, unadulterated joy that momentarily brushes against your own being, a fleeting moment of shared ecstasy. But then, as the dream concludes, as the client drifts back towards their own waking reality, you pull back, severing the intricate link. The vibrant world you just inhabited dissolves, leaving behind only the sterile glow of your console and the persistent gnawing emptiness that always follows, a cold void where the shared joy once briefly resided. The thrill of creation is potent, yes, a brief spark in the pervasive gloom, but the stark reality of your existence remains unchanged, untouched by the wonders you manifest. You are the conduit, the architect, the fleeting god of fleeting moments, but never truly the inhabitant. The weight of the world, the real world, settles back onto your shoulders, heavier than before. The next day, the routine is just as demanding, just as predictable. Each new request another variation on the theme of escape. You're crafting a simpler dream this time, a tranquil escape to a forgotten beach under twin suns, the waves lapping gently against shores of iridescent sand, a perfect idyll of peace. You meticulously layer the sensory details, the imagined warmth of the sun on phantom skin, the crisp, salty tang of the air, the rhythmic, hypnotic whisper of the ocean. Everything is perfect, precisely as the client requested, a flawless tapestry of serenity woven with expert precision. Then it happens, a flicker, a momentary jarring distortion in the otherwise pristine landscape. A fleeting, almost imperceptible ripple across the smooth surface of the dream, like static on an old broadcast, a tear in the fabric of the illusion. For an instant, the gentle lapping of the waves is replaced by a harsh, grating, metallic screech, a sound utterly alien to the tranquil scene, a violation of its calm. And then, a glimpse, not of the sun-drenched beach, but of something else entirely. A fragmented image, stark and unsettling, flashes into your perception, a sterile white room, its walls devoid of warmth, and a faint, almost subliminal symbol, intricately etched onto a cold, metallic surface. It's a symbol you don't consciously recognize, yet one that sends a strange, cold shiver down your spine, a whisper of forgotten dread. It vanishes as quickly as it appeared, swallowed by the meticulously constructed illusion, leaving only a faint echo in your mind. You pause, a knot of unease tightening in your stomach, a prickle of cold sweat on your brow. A glitch, it's rare, yes, but not entirely unheard of. System anomalies, they call them. You quickly run a diagnostic tracing the anomaly, isolating the corrupted data packet deep within the dream's structure. A simple repair, a quick overwrite of the faulty code. The beach returns to its perfect, serene state, the metallic screech replaced by the soothing rhythm of the waves, the unsettling image banished. You dismiss it, pushing the unsettling vision to the back of your mind, a mere phantom. Just a minor error in the vast, complex, and sometimes temperamental machinery of the dreamscape. Nothing to worry about. Yet the faint echo of that screech, the phantom chill of that sterile room, the unsettling geometry of that symbol, they linger, a discordant note in the symphony of your carefully controlled reality. Days bleed into weeks, each one a repetition of the last, filled with the usual escapist fantasies, the familiar rhythms of creation and detachment. You try to forget the glitch, to relegate it to the realm of minor system errors. Then, a new notification flashes on your console, its urgent crimson glow piercing the monotonous rhythm of your work. An anonymous request. This isn't unusual in itself. Many clients in Veridia prefer their privacy, their dream lives separate from their public personas. But the details of this request are unlike anything you've ever encountered in your years as a weaver. The payment offered is astronomical, far beyond the standard rates for even the most elaborate, custom-tailored dreams. It's enough to buy you years of freedom from the grinding daily grind, enough to escape Veridia itself, if you so chose. The client's instructions are terse, almost cryptic, devoid of the usual emotional appeals or detailed fantasy outlines. They don't want an escape. They don't want a fantasy. They want to find something lost. Not an object in the physical world, not a person, not even a specific memory within their own known past. They specify something lost in the depths of the dreamscape itself, an exploration into the unmapped territories, the forgotten corners of the collective subconscious, a place few dreamweavers dare to tread and none are officially encouraged to explore. The request feels inherently dangerous, a violation of the unspoken protocols that govern your profession. Your role is to create, to soothe, to distract, never to delve into the raw, unfiltered chaos of the dreamscape's true, untamed potential. To go searching for something lost implies uncovering something that was perhaps deliberately hidden, something powerful enough to warrant such an exorbitant fee. Your instincts scream at you to decline, to protect the fragile piece of your existence. The risk is immense, not just to your career, but to something deeper, something you can't quite articulate, a sense of encroaching dread. But the sheer audacity of the request, the staggering sum of credits, and a growing, unshakable curiosity born from that earlier unsettling glitch gnaw at you, chipping away at your resolve. This isn't about crafting a pretty illusion, it's about excavation, about uncovering a truth, however unsettling, however dangerous. The pull of the unknown, the whisper of a deeper reality becomes irresistible. Despite every fiber of your being screaming caution, the lure of the unknown, coupled with the irresistible offer of true freedom, proves too strong to resist. You accept the anonymous request. The moment you confirm, a new interface, stark and unadorned, overrides your usual console display. There are no parameters for creation, only coordinates for exploration, a digital map of uncharted psychic terrain. You prepare yourself, a ritual born of habit and a growing sense of profound dread. This isn't like diving into a client's carefully curated fantasy, a pre-packaged dream. This is plunging headfirst into the abyss, into the raw, untamed heart of the dreamscape. You initiate the deep dive, and the familiar expansion of your consciousness is immediately different. There's no gentle transition, no familiar framework of comforting illusions. Instead, you are thrust into a maelstrom of fragmented imagery, a chaotic mosaic of forgotten memories and half-formed thoughts, a hurricane of pure, unadulterated psychic energy. This isn't a dream you are creating. It's a dream you are entering, a raw, untamed landscape of the collective unconscious, a place that feels ancient and vast. The environment around you shifts constantly, a crumbling architecture of forgotten moments, each one dissolving and reforming with bewildering speed. You see flashes of faces you don't recognize, hear snippets of conversations long past, feel echoes of emotions that are not your own, profound grief, ecstatic joy, searing anger, all swirling around you in a disorienting, overwhelming psychic storm. You navigate through the labyrinth of decaying data structures, past vast, silent chasms where memories have been irrevocably lost, entire identities dissolved into static, leaving only faint, spectral imprints. You feel a profound sense of desolation, a pervasive sorrow that permeates this place, a chilling testament to what has been undone. This isn't just forgotten, it feels suppressed, intentionally buried beneath layers of digital dust and psychic detritus. The air, if such a thing can exist in the dreamscape, feels heavy with unspoken secrets, with truths deliberately obscured, with the weight of unremembered lives. You are no longer a weaver. You are an archaeologist, digging through the ruins of consciousness itself, searching for something the city, or perhaps something larger and far more insidious, desperately wants to keep hidden. Every step deeper feels like a transgression, a violation of an unspoken law, a step closer to a precipice you cannot yet see. As you delve deeper, pushing past the psychic static and the chaotic fragments, the pervasive disarray begins to coalesce, forming a discernible, albeit unsettling, pattern. You stumble upon a hidden archive, a vast, sprawling structure embedded deep within the dreamscape, cloaked in layers of sophisticated obfuscation protocols and digital wards. It's not just a collection of forgotten memories, it's a meticulously organized vault of suppressed ones. This is a place where identities were not merely lost to the ravages of time or neglect, but actively sequestered, their fragments carefully categorized, indexed, and stored away like prisoners in a digital dungeon. You push through the final digital defenses, feeling the immense resistance of the system, a silent, piercing alarm ringing somewhere in the digital ether, a warning you are now too deep to heed. Inside, the archive is immense, stretching into an infinite horizon of data cells, each one a life, a story, a truth held captive. You navigate through the endless sterile corridors, the sheer volume of suppressed consciousness overwhelming, a silent scream echoing through the digital void. And then, amidst the anonymous fragments, you find it. Not an entire identity, not a complete life, but fragments. Whispers of a name, images of a place, sensations that resonate with an unnerving, profound familiarity. A particular pattern of light reflecting off a metallic surface. A specific scent from a childhood you don't consciously remember. A fragment of a melody that strikes a deep, resonant chord within your very being, stirring something ancient and powerful. These are pieces of your past. Memories you had absolutely no conscious recollection of, truths about your own life that were systematically erased, locked away in this very vault, hidden even from yourself. The glitches you experienced, the fleeting screech, the sterile room, the strange, unsettling symbol, they weren't random system errors, not at all. They were echoes. They were your own subconscious, buried deep beneath layers of programmed oblivion and manufactured identity, desperately trying to break through, to warn you, to guide you back to yourself, to the truth. You realize with a sickening, gut-wrenching jolt that you are not just exploring the suppressed memories of others. You are unearthing your own stolen history, your own manipulated identity, your very essence held captive. The anonymous client didn't just want to find something lost, they wanted you to find yourself, the true self that had been systematically erased. The weight of this revelation is crushing, yet liberating. Your profound discovery, the reaccessing of your own suppressed memories, does not go unnoticed. The moment the final layers of obfuscation peeled away, the dreamscape's core defensive protocols flared to life, not as a sound, but as a psychic vibration, a chilling sense of absolute exposure that reverberates through your very being. Alarms blare, a silent, deafening scream of data, signaling a critical breach. Digital guardians materialize from the swirling chaos of the dreamscape, sleek, predatory constructs of pure data, their forms shifting and reforming with terrifying speed, designed to eradicate intruders and restore the carefully maintained order. They are relentless, their pursuit immediate and unforgiving, a pack of digital hounds unleashed. You are no longer an explorer, you are prey, trapped deep within the heart of the system. The archive, once a sanctuary of truth, becomes a perilous trap, its endless corridors now a maze of digital hunters. You flee through the crumbling, disintegrating pathways, the guardians hot on your heels, their digital claws tearing at the very fabric of the dreamscape around you, attempting to ensnare you. You feel the immense pressure of the system attempting to sever your connection, to forcibly pull you out, to reestablish the veil of ignorance, to bury the truth once more. But you cling on, a desperate, defiant act of will against the overwhelming power of the network. You reach the absolute core of the archive, a central nexus where all the suppressed memories are interconnected, a vast, shimmering reservoir of forgotten truths, pulsating with dormant potential. A single critical choice presents itself, stark and terrifying, illuminated by the approaching digital predators. You can initiate a full upload, releasing these suppressed memories, all of them, including your own, the collective forgotten history of Veridia, into the public network. Unleash the torrent of forgotten identities, expose the truth of the city's true origins and its insidious control mechanisms, and shatter the carefully constructed reality of millions. It would be an act of digital anarchy, risking everything you are, everything you have, potentially erasing your very existence as the system fights back with every bite of its power. Or you can sever the connection, retreat, and disappear back into the anonymity of your dreamweaver life, preserving the secret, allowing the system to continue its insidious work, and letting your own past, along with the city's, remain buried forever. The Guardians are closing in, their presence a palpable threat, their digital forms almost upon you. The choice is yours, and the consequences will ripple across the entire city, across every single mind connected to the dreamscape, echoing through generations. The choice is made in a split second, a primal scream of defiance against the suffocating silence of suppression, a desperate gamble for truth. With a surge of adrenaline you didn't know you possessed, a surge that feels like pure, unadulterated resolve, you initiate the upload. The dreamscape explodes around you, not in destruction, but in a dazzling, blinding flash of pure, unbridled information, a supernova of collective memory. The digital guardians falter, their intricate programming overwhelmed by the sheer volume and raw power of the data torrent, their predatory forms dissolving into shimmering static as the archive bursts open, unleashing its long-held secrets. You feel a searing pain, a profound, agonizing wrenching, as your consciousness is violently torn from the dreamscape, ripped back into the harsh confines of your physical reality. You gasp, clawing your way back to your apartment, collapsing against your console, every nerve ending screaming. Your body aches, your head throbs with the echoes of 1,000,000 suppressed voices, 1,000 forgotten lives, a cacophony of awakening. The city outside your window is still a kaleidoscope of neon and rain, but now it feels different, profoundly changed. The air crackles with an unseen energy, a palpable shift in the collective consciousness. You force your trembling fingers to your console, scanning the public feeds, dread and exhilaration warring within you. At first, it's just a trickle, minor system glitches reported across the city. Isolated instances of data corruption. Then, the trickle becomes a flood, an unstoppable deluge. News reports, initially bewildered, then increasingly alarmed, begin to flash across every screen, every holographic projection, every public forum. Massive data breach affects Dreamscape network, unprecedented memory corruption reported, citizens experiencing vivid, unfamiliar flashbacks and disorientation. The city is waking up. Your reality, the comfortable illusion you once inhabited, has been irrevocably shattered. and with it, the reality of millions. You are no longer just a dream weaver. You are the catalyst, the spark that ignited a revolution of truth. And then, the final chilling piece of the puzzle slots into place, a truth so profound it reshapes everything you thought you knew, everything you believed about yourself and your world. The anonymous request, the one that started it all, the one that asked you to find something lost. It wasn't from a stranger, not from an unknown entity. It was a failsafe, a program meticulously designed and embedded deep within the dreamscape decades ago, lying dormant, waiting for the precise moment. Not by a rogue hacker, not by a benevolent eye, but by you. Not the weary dream weaver you are today, but the original you. The brilliant, idealistic architect of the entire dream weaver system itself. You were the one who built this vast, intricate network, originally conceived as a utopian tool for collective memory, shared empathy, and boundless human experience. But when the corporate and political powers of Veridia twisted its noble purpose, transforming it into an insidious mechanism for mass suppression and control, for erasing inconvenient truths and shaping a docile, compliant citizenry, you couldn't bear it. You couldn't dismantle it from the outside without destroying everything. So you built a back door, a single, anonymous trigger, a dormant program designed to awaken your future self, to guide you to the suppressed core and to unleash the truth when the city was ripe for awakening. You were the lock, yes, the unwitting guardian of the very secrets you sought. But you were also the key, the pre-programmed agent of your own undoing and the city's liberation. The massive data leak isn't just a leak, it's a liberation, a city-wide awakening from a dream of manufactured ignorance, a collective memory surge that will redefine everything. And the greatest irony? You spent your entire life weaving dreams for others, only to discover you had spent an entire lifetime living one yourself.